Hey, good morning. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Today is the 2nd of January. A little bit of snow on the ground, as you can see. This is University Town Center, which is, well, I call it Morgantown. It might actually technically be Star City. So if you haven't been to Morgantown in a while, I thought you'd want to see some of the businesses around, or if you haven't been to West Virginia at all, I thought you might enjoy a little look. This place has only been here, I don't know, maybe about 10 years. It doesn't have I was going to say it doesn't have a Starbucks in it, but it does have a Barnes & Noble with a Starbucks inside. No drive-through, you have to go in the store. But otherwise, it's our little, in Morgantown, sort of a little restaurant row. It's got a Olive Garden, Red Lobster, of course, Cheddar's, Chili's, and oh gosh, one or two pizza places and sub shops, little hole-in-the-wall places. Here's our Chevrolet GMC dealership, and then Nissan, owned by the same guy. When he first opened, he had all these signs, yard signs, in front of his dealership, saying things like, help wanted or salesman wanted. And he had it up for several months, and I always felt so bad for the salespeople that work there. Hey, you imagine driving to work, and each time you pull into the lot, you see, the owner advertising for people to replace you, I guess. That's what it felt like. I don't know. It's a tough business. Not for me, even though I love cars. Maybe I could sell Teslas. Of course, I think they just take orders. I don't think they have dealerships. At least they don't have a dealership in West Virginia that I know of. This is pretty new. It's a baseball stadium we're passing here on the right. It's where WVU, West Virginia University, their baseball team plays, and some semi-pro teams. Our local one is called the Black Bears. And then passing on the left, out of the frame, is Buffalo Wild Wings and Mexican place. Then we have two other, actually, could be 3 or 4 depending on how you count it, dealerships that we're passing on the left now. Much smaller, but they're VW, Ford, Kia, and there's a sign that says Hyundai, but I don't see any Hyundais on the lot. Passing Panda Express and a Wendy's there on the right. So that pretty much takes us through University Town Center. On the left, out of frames, is Jersey Mike, a Blaze Pizza, haircut shop, maybe just a few others. As we come here to a traffic circle, if you haven't been to West Virginia, and I almost said Maryland, I used to live there in Texas, but if you haven't been to West Virginia in a while, especially Morgantown, I should say, I don't know why, but they seem to be on a traffic circle kick, and we're about to go around one. I think personally it's just so they don't have to use the electricity for traffic lights. That's the only reason I can think of. I mean, there's got to be a lot of wrecks in a traffic circle, but it is what it is, All right, now we're going to get on 79 South. So University Town Center is in the north side of Morgantown. Now we're going 79 South, so we're going towards Westover. And there's a Westover Park. A lot of stuff there. I think what I'll do is take you through Westover, and then we'll be going into the downtown West Virginia University campus and let you take a look around there. See if I can clean the windshield for you a little bit. All right, not bad. I'll try to keep it clean for you, the windshield anyway, and I'll get back to the narration once we get to the university here in a few minutes. Until then, we're taking the Westover exit off 79 South, and our next stop is West Virginia University. Yeah, my engine shut off. I've got one of those GMC vehicles that if you leave it in a complete stop, occasionally the engine will just shut off by itself. It does it on purpose. I just flipped a little switch that'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Oh, man. I read online it helps them get slightly better miles per gallon readings on government tests. I believe, I'm not positive, but that General Motors, has stopped doing that because it's, number one, it's really aggravating to just feel the car die under you when you're at a stoplight like that. And then it also eats up your batteries. I mean, your car battery, come on, if it has to start, you know, maybe 10 times, 20 times more than normal, because at stoplights or stop signs, the car is going to turn itself off and then restart. That's going to go through your battery and your starter. I mean, it's got to be harder on the engine as well. So if GM and Chevy have gone away from that, I would be very happy and look forward to getting a vehicle that doesn't have it. This is the start of Westover. Westover is a smaller town. It seems to have a older feel to it as well. Morgantown itself is trying to renew, regenerate, and what you'll see are some new buildings at the downtown campus, mostly for housing. But it has upgraded the area known as Sunnyside, which is around West Virginia University. It's where a lot of couch fires used to happen back in the old days after WVU football games. If you're from big cities, I guess one of the things you're noticing right now is a complete lack of large, tall buildings, which is something nice about West Virginia. You're not always staring at concrete and steel and high-rises. You can actually see the sky and trees, and not many billboards either compared to the big cities, which is nice. We still have most of what everybody needs. The nightlife, of course, is a little different because this is a total college town, just total. It has, during the summer, about 50,000 people, but during the school year, it doubles to 100,000. So summers are nice, slow and quiet, and then when school's in, it doubles in size, but it's nice. Ah, man, we're passing the American flag at half-staff. That is probably for the terrorist attack in New Orleans that killed all those people. And I wasn't following the news too close last night, but apparently there was something going on with a Tesla Cybertruck, some kind of explosion. When I checked it last night, they didn't know if it was a bomb or if it was fireworks. I did see the tweet from Elon Musk about how they shouldn't have picked a Cybertruck because it contained the explosion and sent it upwards rather than out. Oh my gosh. I hope that was in Las Vegas, I believe, and I hope that wasn't a terrorist attack as well. But on to happier things. We're passing a Scorers. There's a couple of those. I hear they're actually pretty fun inside, pretty nice. A good place just to grab a beer and maybe some finger food. I can't remember if somebody said Scorers was good for food or not. There's a couple of them around. All right, we have a twisty road coming up here before the university. And under this asphalt that you're seeing are bricks. It was a brick road. Man, I hate to see those covered up. I mean, I can understand it, especially in West Virginia where you've got a lot of precipitation in the winter. The water gets down in between the bricks, it freezes, which makes it larger, cracks the bricks, repeat. Pretty soon you've just got big old potholes, even in the bricks. So they do pave it with asphalt, but then same thing basically happens over time. It's not uniform, so there's little cracks, tiny cracks. Water gets in, freezes, expands, more potholes. So if you're seeing or hearing some of the rattling around, it's because of the state of the road. As for me, I'd like to see it all go back to bricks. It's just a nice look to be driving on a road full of bricks. Oh, I know what I could do. I could take you guys through downtown Morgantown. The main street isn't called Main Street, it's called High Street. It only goes one way, but I can, I don't know, you want to go through High Street? I'll take you down. Now we've got a little stop sign here. What you're looking at on the right there, that yellow, is building is condos sitting next to or overlooking the Mon River. It would be nice. They're awfully expensive, but if I'm hesitant, it's just because condos in a small city doesn't quite seem right. There's so much land in West Virginia. From what I understand, there's not a lot that can be built on because of underground mining that happened throughout the many years. But with all the land we have, I can't quite imagine going with a condo for my place of permanent residence because of the fees. But I guess if you don't want to have any yard work whatsoever, that's the way to do it. All right, so the red building across the street was vacant forever. Where the street in front of us here is University Avenue. If you went to school at West Virginia University, you know it fairly well. But anyway, across the street there is Miley Legal. Tim Miley is a lawyer, advertises on TV a lot. And then after that, you're going to see a portrait of Harriet Tubman, and she's got red eyes. You know, I'm tempted to paint laser beam shooting out of her eyes because that's kind of what it looks like. It's going to happen next, like in the Marvel universe. There she is, looking scary to me. Oh, and we just passed the Black Bear restaurant, and then we're passing the drive-through for Huntington Bank. Huntington Bank. Oh my gosh. We used to bank with them, but I don't know, man. We got caught up in a victim of fraud less than a month ago. It was these brothers, last name Pancoast, P-A-N, Coast, like East or West Coast. When the cops finally did get them, and by the way, it was because a teller at the Fairmont Credit Union, or Federal Credit Union in Fairmont, the guy had, from what I understand from the state trooper I was talking to, the guy sent in a wrong or obviously false ID with a check to try to cash it. They had tried to pass, or successfully did pass, so many bad checks in the Morgantown, Fairmont areas that the tellers were wise to it and were on the lookout. So when they got this obviously sketching looking transaction, they called the police right away. They came out and arrested him. When they arrested him, they had, according to the state police, they had over 100 checks with the value of over $86,000 in their possession that they had stolen out of people's mailboxes, and a large number of credit cards that they had also taken out of people's mailboxes. One interesting thing that these two guys did, and they didn't act alone. Apparently they had a couple of girls working with them. One had rented a car for them to drive around in to pass these bad checks. That's what they were in when they got arrested. But they stole a driver's license out of somebody's mailbox. Well, the driver's license they stole was from one of the deputies that works at the sheriff's office. So they had this cop's driver's license. They didn't know who he was, but they used his driver's license to try to copy his signature and tried to pass bad checks under the cop's name. I can't believe that. So I mean, everybody wanted to get these two guys off the street. And they finally did. But Huntington, they, I guess I shouldn't go into all the details, other than to say, as far as we know, we were not contacted by the Huntington Fraud Division or Department. These two guys were able to cash 2 of our checks, each for just over $900. And what I think is, in their minds, there must have been something magic about writing the checks for just less than $1,000. Now, I don't think you should give too much credence to what they may or may not have been thinking. But, we're on High Street, by the way, just past Cold Stone on the left. Lots and lots of little restaurants and like souvenir shops all along High Street. Nothing major, no big names other than Cold Stone. That's why I mentioned them. The large nationwide companies don't seem to want to be on High Street because the buildings are old and small. It would cost an absolute fortune to renovate. And also the biggie, which is no parking, just a few meters on the street. And not a lot of people like using them, because if you've been to any college town, I imagine it has to be any college town, you're gonna get a parking ticket. They'll find a way to give you a parking ticket. That's, it's kind of their lifeblood. I don't know what makes them so hot about writing tickets, other than it ultimately leads to people staying away. I guess they figure if you're here to go to college, you really can't stay away until you graduate, so they'll try to write you as many tickets as you can. So I'm sorry if you were here and got a ticket. That's just how some college teams work. Oh, that's right. Even though we're little here in Morgantown, we just passed their Asian massage place. I walked in to see prices, but I didn't get very far because I'm terrible with accents. Can't quite understand accents. I try to follow them, but I just can't. So the poor lady was trying to be nice and talk to me, but I couldn't make out the English she was trying to speak. And that's certainly nothing against Asians by any means. I remember I was watching we're going through university, the West Virginia University right now. There's a couple of bridges that go across the University Avenue here. Just what was going along the right that almost looked like train tracks. That's close. That's the PRT. That's our little, it's very similar to airport shuttles, especially if you've flown into or out of Dallas-Fort Worth. They're sort of like copies of those airport shuttles where there's no driver. You just get in, doors automatically close and open, and they stop every so often at various established stops. I've never been on one, but I enjoy them. I don't know, there's something about being in a vehicle that has no driver, yet it will take you places. Well, we're passing Ashbrook Apartments on the right, just past them. That was an interesting story in Morgantown. The guy that built that, from the rumors that went around, and I believe I even saw a video about a town hall meeting. Apparently he built it without getting permission from the city. He just thought he would build it and get permission later. And man, it didn't work well. It sat empty, completely empty for years. There is an Ashbrook liquor store attached to it, and that's going to do well in a college town. His daughter is named Ashbrook. So I don't know if I'd name a liquor store after my daughter, but he did. I don't know if college students are allowed to live there now or not. You can't see it on the right because of the hills. There's tons of hills in West Virginia. But there's more of the West Virginia University going on just behind this hill on the right. In fact, when we get up here to the stoplight, I'll take a ride and take you into that part of the university, which includes a couple of college dorms. And if I'm not mistaken, this is called, what we're about to turn right into is called the Evansdale campus. You can see crossing the road is another PRT track. And all the way down here along the side of the road, even though we're far away, you'll see people leaving their cars parked so they can go to the Coliseum. we'll make the Coliseum and make that the last part of the tour. All right, so we're gonna turn into, yeah, the Evansdale West entrance. There's our big arts. Let's see what it says here. Candy Creative Arts Center. Oh, Kennedy. Oh, sorry, not Candy. Oh, man. Sorry about that, guys. All right, then we have agricultural resources up here, engineering, Evansdale Crossing, Morrill Way, Art Museum, Museum Education Center. West Virginia University puts up these windscreens. I don't know exactly why. It's got to block wind, maybe. I know it's got to put extra stress on the chain link fences, so they're probably not going to last forever. But we do seem to like putting up windscreens. I'm not entirely sure why. Oh, nice view looking out over Morgantown. A little bit of snow is falling today. If you're wondering why it's a little gray, it's because of the falling, I don't know if I'd call it falling snow. It's because of the flurries. On the left here is the Benjamin Statler College of Engineering and Mineral Resources. Hooah! Lots of signs saying what kind of parking decal is needed to be here. Area 44, decal parking only. Yeah, if you could whip up some decals, I imagine you could make yourself a nice living. I don't know. I don't want to give anybody ideas. All right, we're going to see if we can... Oh, looks like a greenhouse over there to the right we just passed. WVU Davis College Store. Now we're wrapping around. We're going to come out to another stoplight, and then we'll go to the Coliseum. Allen Hall, Percival Hall. Man, for those of you that stayed there, I'm sure I said that wrong. I probably butchered it. My apologies. And I believe these buildings, tan buildings with the rectangle windows, are dorms as well, although I'm not sure what they are, what the names of them are. We're fixing to find out. Just past some basketball courts and what looks like a couple of tennis courts there on the right. All right, here's the main entrance for whatever this dorm is. Let's see if they have any signs. No, I don't see. Oh, here it is. Bennett Tower and Lion Tower. So those are the two towers we're passing by. Personally, I only got to stay in a dorm 2 semesters, and it wasn't here. It was in Texas, and it was enjoyable. If you're headed to college, I'd recommend a dorm, especially if you're just starting out. It helps with meeting people, and you just won't feel as alone as if you're a commuting student and you just sit in these huge classrooms, don't really know anybody, and then go home. To our right, if you've been out here, it's a little hard to see, but there's BFS gas station, which is just a big gas station around here. It's them and Sheetz that seem to own everything. A Little Caesars, and further down is a McDonald's you can just make out. All right, we are now off the campus. You can see the signs perhaps. One sign points to 79, one sign points to 68. Hopefully that's bringing back some good memories. Or if not, come out here and make some good memories. Here we go. We're rolling now. Passing another strip center. Can't see it because it's further back. Just almost make out their sign. There's a Panera. We're passing an Eaton Park. The red and white sign there. Taco Bell. I worked at Taco Bell in high school. That was any high school job dealing with the public is, it's bound to be interesting. You're going to have some stories. one of the many stories was me and 3 other guys. Well, no, I think it was 2 other guys. We closed. So, man, even then, back in the day, it was still closed at like 1 a.m. It was late. Well, the next day, we got written up because the register had come up, I don't know, $100 short. I can't remember the amount. But the thing was, all 3 of us were really upset because all 3 of us said we didn't take the money. And we didn't. You know, more and more money kept disappearing. People would get written up. They'd have to sign, not admitting guilt, but sign that they were written up. Well, they finally did catch the person who was stealing the money. And it was the manager. Yeah, the Taco Bell manager. The one who was writing us up was the one stealing the money. All right, here we go. You see the signs for 79, because we're real close to it now. South and North 19. And here we are. We're looking at the Blue Gate from West Virginia University. If the roof looks different, well, they painted it not too long ago. The whole thing is tan, which is fine. The white that you're seeing is snow. There's an electronic billboard out here in front of the Coliseum. And the Coliseum parking lot is used for tailgating for the football games. It always starts getting filled up a day before there's any kind of a football game. And it's nice to see. It's nice to see everybody parking and mingling, West Virginia fans as well as the visiting team. You know, they all seem to park amongst each other, which is fine. It's nice. Yeah, we need some more camaraderie, some friendly fans. We don't need some of the fights that break out in professional sports. That doesn't need to be anywhere around college games. The electronic billboard that you're seeing changing from time to time was recently used to announce the re-arrival, perhaps I should say, of Rich Rodriguez, who used to be our football coach, went to Michigan briefly, and then 1 or 2 other colleges. Now he's returning. So I'd say people are mostly looking forward to having him back. West Virginia University football is a big part of this town. West Virginia, as you may know, doesn't have any professional sports teams. So we do cheer for the Mountaineers. Well, here's the Blue Gate. A couple of figures outside in what I would guess would be bronze, but I'm not sure. One of which is Jerry West, West Virginia University famous basketball player, who is rumored to be the model that the NBA logo was made after. You know, the guy running towards you at a lean, that NBA logo. Country Roads Gate we're passing now. It'd be quite an honor if the NBA logo was actually made after one of our college players. In the back of a building that's to our left are WVU tennis courts, which I've got to say would be an amazing way to get a scholarship to play tennis. This tan building to the right there is the Corey Gym, Corry. And then we're facing towards some of the mini soccer fields, actually. There's a professional grade women's soccer field, and then a men's soccer field as well. With, you know, the complete deal. Stands, night lighting, artificial turf, whatever you want. Well, this seems to be a little bit of a dead end, so we'll end the tour here. Thanks for coming along. Love you guys. Bye.